Hello everyone. So today I'm going to be guiding you through the user creation and permission assignment process within our AuditSafe software. Hello everyone. So today I'm going to guide you through the user creation process within the AuditSafe server component, so within AuditSafe itself. So user creation and permission assignment is typically reserved for either an IT professional that is monitoring and applying the system, or maybe a lab manager, for example, but someone that's quite high up that is trusted with the level of responsibility of being able to decide what users should have what permissions, and certainly for the AuditSafe software, what group they should be assigned to, which then infers their permissions if you want to set it up that way. So I'll guide you through the options and explain them to you, and then you'll kind of understand how we handle users and how best to assign users on site when using the AuditSafe software to make sure that you maintain compliance. So I'll just log in here on my test account, and I will scroll through to my users section. So at the top here we've got individual users. So this is every user that has been entered onto the software, that has been entered already. So I've only got my test user. So you can see the name of the user, and auth is obviously short for authorization. So this is an internal user. So this is a username and password combination that is unique to the AuditSafe software. Now, if you see my other videos, you'll know that we do support LDAP domains, which means that we do support Windows Active Directory domains, which I know is very popular within the industry, allowing people to maintain a single sign-on for lots of different pieces of software. So we do support LDAP, so you can use your Windows username and password, which is typically managed by Central IT, and again, AuditSafe is designed to also be managed by Central IT from a single browser, allowing them to kind of administer the whole site regardless of being actually physically present in the lab or labs that they need to administer the software on. So yeah, Windows LDAP authorization is supported, and the benefit of that for kind of central IT teams is that they can enforce lots of different password restrictions and make sure that people are changing their passwords every 30 days and kind of ensure a measure of security on site via that mechanism. We also support many of those kind of features within AuditSafe if using an internal user. So we support things like preventing password repeats, minimum length of password, mix of capital, alphanumeric characters, things like that. So we do support that within the internal users as well. But we know a lot of people favor the convenience of the LDAP setup. So to the right here, you can see groups. So this list shows what groups this user is a member of. So groups are not mutually exclusive. You can be a member of multiple different groups, and they are additional. So if you're a member of multiple different groups, you get all of the permissions that those groups allow you to have, and I'll go into kind of group permissions as I go to the second section here. Issues is where you would see a notification if there was, say, a pending password reset or deviant logins, something like that. There would be kind of a flag to say something's happened with this account. Here is the information. Now I don't have anything here, but that's where the information would be displayed if there was any. Again, from this drop-down menu for this particular user, and again, if I had 100 users, I'd have 100 entries in this top section here. Manage groups allows me to manage which groups this user is a member of and change those. I've got the option to deactivate this user now. When you can't delete users from the system, because then you would remove their ability. So if they had any projects checked out, or if they had any projects that they'd worked on previously, if you just deleted the user from the system, what happens to all of the files that they've signed off and the files that they've interacted with during their time, say, of employment at site? What would we do with them? Would we delete them? Well, we can't delete them because then we'd be losing data and we'd be in breach of 21 CFR and GMP compliance. So deactivate simply means that the entry stays there and their name stays associated with every project that they've created previously, but they're no longer an active user. You can't log in, you can't do things as that user. Reset deviant logins allows you to reset basically the failed password count. So you can set that within the password permissions within the AuditSafe server. You can say after 3 failed password attempts, lock the account. After 5, 7, whatever it may be for your site policy. But if you want to reset, if you get a call and say, look, I forgot my password 3 times, I've locked my account, can you let me back in, please? This is how you would do it. So you would click reset deviant logins. You would obviously have like a 3 here in red that would alert the admin that this person had performed too many deviant logins. And you could reset it from here, and you can of course reset their user's password from here as well. If I go to reset a password, a temporary password is generated for that user. So this is really clever. So the way we handle this is even the admin for the entire system does not know users' specific passwords. What happens when a user requests a password reset is the admin would log in, reset the password, give them this temporary password, and then the next time this person tries to log in, they have to enter this temporary password and generate a new password as part of that login. So even the admin to the system could not falsify a login as another user. So as you can see, we've really amped up the security within the AuditSafe system to make sure that all of your audit trails are absolutely bulletproof from a security point of view. And you can see under issues now, I've got the password reset pending logo, basically saying that now when the next time this user tries to log into the client, they have a password reset pending that they need to perform. So I'll come down to the bottom section now, so groups. So this is a new feature that we've introduced in AuditSafe, and it's been often requested as it makes administering large-scale pharmaceutical sites and industry sites much easier. So previously in our 21 CFR and GMP compliant software, each user stood alone, and if you had 100 users, you had to create 100 users. You still have to create 100 users, but you don't have to create 100. You don't have to assign 100 permission. You don't have to assign permissions 100 times. So say if you've got, I'll use 100 because it's a good number to use. Say if you've got 100 users in your lab, and 10 of them are supervisors, so 10 of them need, 10 of them fall under supervisors, so they need elevated permissions within the system to be able to sign off projects and things like that. The other 90 are all analysts that are just performing, analysis all day, every day, and they have a lower level of rights within the system. In our previous software, you would have to configure all of that manually for each single user, but now you can simply assign the users to the groups that you want to apply the permissions to, and they will automatically gain the set of permissions relevant to that group, which means that anyone with say the supervisor permission, they've all got the same level of access, they've all got the same permissions, that's all one group. If you come along and add the other 90 people to the readers group, well, from that, you already know exactly what permissions all 90 of those people have got. So it's a great way of automatically applying permissions for access to projects to a large number of people, and then being able to understand what permissions everyone has simply by knowing what group they're in. So it makes stratification of users on site, especially when you've got a large number of users, much, much easier. Now, AuditSafe comes with a predefined set of groups, but you can also create your own user group permissions as well. So if I wanted to create my own custom group for my own workflow, if I just click this icon here, new group, and give it a name, test4, and then I identify my test4 group here, click this button here, and then I can delete the group or I can change the permissions associated with that group. So everyone that I add as a member of this group will get these permissions, will be on the same kind of level. So it's normally best to stratify it by role. So analysts, supervisors, lab managers, something with a hierarchy, that kind of thing. So I'll tick the permissions that I want everyone in this group to have, click OK. Those permissions are listed here, so if an admin wants to double check what permissions are associated with which group, or kind of fill in any paperwork to say this is how we've set up the system, they can see at a glance here, right, Everyone that's in this group I know has these permissions. Easy, very quick. So that's how we handle users and permissions within the AuditSafe software. Once you've created a user, on first login they will get a temporary password. So if I just create a new user here, we can select between internal and LDAP. So obviously LDAP, as I mentioned previously, was the Windows Active Directory user. I'll give them a username, so test2. I will apply them to the groups that are relevant for their position or for their role within the company. So I'll say reporters. Click OK. So you can see here, as I was saying before, when you reset passwords, even the admin that sets up your account doesn't know your user password. And again, we use the same mechanism here. So when you first create a user, they are given a temporary password. And when they go to use this temporary password for the first time, they will then be prompted as part of that process to come up with their own unique password. So this is the highest level of password security that we could provide from our side within the software. Is the only person that should know the password is the user that creates the password themselves. The IT admin doesn't know it, their supervisor, their manager doesn't know it, only they know it. So you can be sure that when you're looking at an audit trail, when you're checking the validity of data produced within your lab or within your GMP environment, where a user's name is listed, you should be as confident as humanly possible that that user has performed that work that is assigned to their name, thus trying to create the most robust electronic signatures and audit trail possible within a compliant environment, or at least as secure as we can make it from our side on the software. As ever, thanks for watching, and if you'd be interested in trialing out a copy of the AuditSafe 21 CFR GMP compliant software, or you've got any advanced 21 CFR or GMP compliant needs, please check out the links in the description below.